For GMTK GameJam 2026, I made this game about being trapped in your office building, specifically in the elevator of your office building, and you have to solve puzzles to escape. The game fits the theme countdown because you have to use the elevator to get or count down to floor 0. 4 days is not a lot of time to make a game, therefore I didn't spend too much time on trying to find a great idea. When it came to brainstorming, most of my ideas were very basic. I was thinking of either making something roguelike with limited time, a fighting game with limited time, or where your time and health is the same thing. Or maybe some platformer where different digits in the time give you different effects. The first two ideas are already time-based by default. The last one could have been fun, but I decided to move away from a time-based countdown. Since it was already late that day and I really wanted to settle on something, I just thought elevator, and I'll figure the rest out later. With that decided, I started working on the elevator. I added doors, a floor selection, a scrolling background with different floors. I feel like there was never a game jam during which I spent less time programming. I mean, I feel like all the code I wrote for this was some animation, floor selection, menu and general game management code. And this one clickable script. Actually, I am kind of proud of this clickable script because it allows me to do so many things without needing to write additional code. Please ignore the sound system though, I added all of the sounds in the last 3 hours, so I just wrote something that works. Basically, the clickable abstract class lets you configure how you can interact with a clickable object in your world. It lets you choose to allow spam click. When that is disabled, you have to move your cursor off the object and hover over it again to click again. Only play once per round is self-explanatory. Additionally, you can define 2 cursor tooltips, one on hover and another one on click if the inventory requirements are not met. As inventory requirements, you can choose an item and select whether it should also be consumed. Additionally, I can also add a cursor, which will be set when you hover over the object, although I didn't have time to make different cursors, so it's unused. Below we have some mouse enter, exit and mouse up function, which basically handle the highlighting of the object and execute the unclick function if all requirements are met. This abstract class, or rather this other class which inherits from it, allows me to do so much so easily. I can just create a sprite, create a highlighted sprite, add a box collider and a script. By the way, I use 3D colliders since that allows me to add, for example, a collider to the door and therefore stop me from accessing things behind it. Then I can assign the highlighted sprite and configure everything. And then I can just click down here to add as many Unity event actions as I want. No need to write any additional code. I did write a little bit more code for inventory management and for extinguishing fire, but that's about it. This allowed me to work mostly on art. I'm quite happy about how it turned out. I think most things look really cool. I really like the breaking glass and also the vending machine. Oh, and the cat animation looks alright too. Some things don't look quite right because 1-point perspective is something I never did in pixel art, and therefore some angles are just wrong, but it doesn't look too bad. Also, I really like the buttons, they really feel like those heavy elevator buttons. If you want, you can check out the game on badpaddy.itch.io/elevator-simulator, where you can play it directly in the browser. While you're there, you could also check out some other games which were made for this game jam. So many people had very creative ideas, really fitting the theme. Anyway, thanks for watching. The rest of the video is just my full gameplay to help you out if you can't figure out something. Anyway, bye, see you next time.